Hi, my name is Gavin Oliveros. This is my fourth time taking this because it didn't upload. This is my zine. This is from the Romantic era. So basically, in the Romantic era, all right. So in this whole cover up, actually, I put several different lines just to emphasize, give it a little bit of pop and everything. Because I truly realized that I feel like what's inside is what matters the most. Because you never judge a book by its cover. So the first page that I put in my design was the explanation about the Romantic era in general and how much it impacted people in the days during the 1700s and the 1800s. So the main themes of the Romantic era were basically just emotion over reason, nature, meaning and spiritual, and individualism and subjectivity. So I put on the side right here a little image of the Romantic era and everything. Um, it's a little people as well, and here's Romantic era. So the first poem I chose for the Romantic era and what stood out to me the most during my research had to be "To the Death" by Caroline Suedley. It's from the 19th century. A piece of quote that I had, or not a quote, but like a section of the poem is, she said, or she stated, and what stood out to me the most actually, am I, and I made a live to pain some heart that kindly cares for me. Am I, and I may live to pain some heart that kindly cares for me, to pain, but not bless. Oh death, come quietly, come lovely. So the whole meaning of this poem is death itself. You shouldn't emphasize death in a way where you should be scared about it. You should be, how do you say, demoralized about the whole idea of death in a way. I feel like that should be something that you know that's bound to happen. You know it's gonna happen no matter what. So you shouldn't truly be scared of death because in a way death is something that can try to motivate you or it can motivate you in many ways because death itself is the end cycle, the end of everything. At some point in life, it's you go through it. It's a cycle that everybody has to go through, and you kind of think of it as like some type of like not idea, but it's some type of it's something that you should always have in your mind because as soon as death comes and happens, you should truly be grateful for the stuff that you have, the stuff that you do, the stuff that you did. Because at some point, you should never regret anything you've ever done in your life because it happened for a reason. And in death itself, you should have it as not like as a motivation, but as something you should have in your mind that at the end of the day, the stuff that you do, it's gonna be over. So you gotta make the most of your time. You gotta make the most of it and everything and your experiences. So I feel like this whole poem summarizes the idea of what I think. So I feel like it really truly relates to me in many ways. I did a little explanation right here. Or the author, Caroline Suedley, did an explanation right here. She basically just talked about the whole overall meaning of death. She said, "Welcome death, not with fear, but as gentle, quiet release from the struggles of life," by Caroline Ann. So yeah, that ties down back to what I said. It's something that's like, wow, it's like not really something off your chest, but it's something that you know that's bound to happen. So you shouldn't be really demoralized about the idea of death. You shouldn't be scared about it, because at the end of the day, everybody's gonna die, and at some point you're gonna die too. I'm gonna die. Everybody's gonna die, but it's not like like serious, because in my mind I think of death in a way that like, oh, I have to do so many things before I die. Because it's always a good idea. You have to experience new things, try new things, live life without regrets, live life without any expectation from anybody. You should do what you want to do and do what you love as long as it's morally acceptable. So, oh yeah, the next part of my little zine, my zine, is I picked the music from Beethoven himself. It's basically Beethoven's Symphony 9. So in this little section, I know it's kind of inverted. I put Beethoven here. He has a little staff and everything, and that's when he can index his music and everything. But beside that point, I chose Symphony 9 Beethoven Here, I'll give you an example of the song itself. So this is the song. So this, I feel like this song in itself ties down to what the romantic era really was: emotions over reason. In itself, when you listen to that music, don't you feel like so powerful, so inspired, so much like serotonin, dopamine in your body because you love the idea of how it sounds? Because to me, when I put that song on, I feel like I can do anything. It makes me feel powerful, inspiring. I feel like I can talk for days, you know? I feel like if I was going to do a presentation or something and I had that song in an AirPod, listen to my ear, just playing, I would feel so confident about myself. And in itself, I feel like this whole song is just really ties down back to the romantic era. So over here in this little section, I know it's kind of hard to see. I put a little, the little graphs where I had the little notes and everything to explain the symphonies and the music, and also a brief description about the song, because actually the song is considered to be from the classical era and the romantic era as well. But it is a part of the romantic era. And I chose this overall song because of how much it relates to me. Because back in school, or back in high school actually, I took this song, or I took a class that had this song and everything, and she taught me, my teacher, I forgot her name, but she taught me so much about Beethoven, and it really truly it relates to me in a way because I love the fact of how much this song like means to me. It gives me like past memories and everything, and how much it just ties down back to how I truly feel and everything. And I feel like, yeah, that's a meaning to me. And to contextualize both these poems and everything to the main topic, I mean, the poem and the music to the romantic era, I feel like overall these poems and this music is just all about emotion. you know, I can say all I want, but at that point, when you read these poems and you think about it, or you read the music and the poems, you feel it. Sometimes you have stuff that you can't describe with words actually. So that's pretty cool and everything. Um, so for the last part, actually, I have a little image that I wanted to show, but this is the Lady Liberty, leading people. So this photo, I didn't have a printer paper or anything just to showcase it, but here's a little image of the Lady Liberty. So basically, it's her with the flag, and she's guiding so many like people. We have people in the background. I think that's like Abraham Lincoln or something. But you have dead people in the back, dead people at the bottom, and everything. And this poem is, I mean, not this poem. This image is so inspiring to me because of how powerful she looks, and how much she stood out to everybody. It ties down to of how powerful and her image is, and how impactful it is due to the fact that she's a lone woman standing in the battlefield. That matters. She has a flag on with a gun in her side and everything, and she looks so inspiring to look at. Like if anybody saw this image itself, it's like, whoa, who is that lady? Why does she look so like she has aura, and how much like she stands out? And in itself, it does impact to the idea and the context of the romantic era, to the fact that it expresses her freedom. I don't know if this image is real, but like just looking at the image and trying to like decipher it and speak about it. Look how free she looks in this picture. Compared to everybody that's suffering in the background and everything. The only thing that she has in her mind is bringing power and motivation and strive for her people. It looks like she's giving motivation. There's another word for the motivation. She's giving, I guess, yeah, she's giving impact to the people. She's trying to boost morality. Yes, she's trying to boost morality to the people, and that ties back down to romanticism, emotions. She's boosting people with the idea of how free she looks and how much impact she has between everybody and the people that are dead and everything. Um, for the last I think question, it was um my process. I already connected to it, the poem and everything, to the stuff. So the process of making the design was entirely pretty hard due to the fact of how much information I had to decipher just to find what really truly connects to me and what I truly felt like I wanted to share out. Um, the process of making this was pretty easy. Probably took about 30 minutes, but the overall information took a while. It took about 40 minutes. It was pretty hard and everything. But yeah, the overall the overall stuff in this video was it's pretty cool. Pretty stuff. Cool. It was cool to like do stuff on paper and everything. So I felt like, yeah, this is my zine, my Zion.